Hey guys, today's video is about learning to throw the disc like a weight. Hey guys, welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel as well. Today we're going to talk about moving the disc like a weight, not a tool. And where those things are different is with a tool. Let's say for instance that you're using a pencil, which is a tool. You're very much focused on finite, accurate movements. If you're writing your name, whatever you're doing, drawing, you're putting a priority on controlling the small movements, and therefore with accuracy and control of that nature, the only muscles that you're recruiting are very small, non-repeatable muscle groups. So the fingers, the hand and wrist, and with manipulation of a tool, you are not going to recruit large muscle groups. Now, contrary to moving a tool, when you move a weight, you are going to, if you can move it efficiently, you're going to recruit large muscle groups. So the primary movers that we're going to talk about today are your legs, your hips, your core, and then your shoulders. Your arm is a primary mover to a certain extent, but I'm not even going to touch on the arm today because that's an incredibly technical video. I'm just going to get into the path that your hips, shoulders, core take, and that's about it. Okay, let's get right into it. A great tool for doing a workout that gives you a very quick connection with how this feels is a medicine ball. If you have a buddy, if you have a wall to throw it against, kind of loading up with the legs, transferring, again, going from bent to straight with the legs, transferring into the hips, the core, and then into the shoulders, but you can really get a connection for how that feels with a medicine ball. I didn't bring a medicine ball today, but I did bring a bag of discs. Same thing, whatever you have, fill up a bucket full of sand, whatever. But what I'm gonna do is kind of demonstrate here how with this weight, with this bag full of discs, and it's not super heavy, it's probably 20-25 pounds. All I'm going to do is start momentum with the weight, with the bag of discs, by shifting my weight back and then shifting my weight forward in a repeatable fashion. I'll just talk you through this, what I'm doing here, and it should look fairly similar to a backhand drive. But what I'm doing is I'm shifting the weight back using my large muscle groups. So again, how we would take a disc back in a repeatable manner is with our shoulder turn. So I'm going to shift the weight back with my shoulders, and then how would I bring the weight forward? I want to recruit a large muscle group, and I want to build it from the ground up if I'm able to. So I shift the weight back using my shoulder turn, using a little bit of my legs because I shift from right to left with in terms of my right leg to my left leg. And then I'm going to shift the weight forward starting from the ground up. So I go left leg into my hips, so legs to hips, into my core, so core to shoulders. And that's going to be the main focus of today. So I shift the weight back, and then I shift the weight forward. I shift the weight back, and then I shift the weight forward. Let's get into some progressions on how we're going to do this today. And I'm going to try and immediately get into this and talk a little bit less. So what I'm initially gonna do here, and I'm just gonna do 4 or 5 reps, but to teach your body, it's gonna take quite a few more than 4 or 5 reps. But I'm going to pretend that the disc is very, very heavy. I can't use my arms as a primary mover, and I'm going to shift my weight back onto my back foot. So as a righty, that's my left foot, and then I'm gonna load weight onto my left leg, and then I'm gonna transfer that weight by going from bent to straight, and then I'm gonna rotate my left hip, and then everything else should just be along for the ride. Hopefully this is in frame. Shouldn't be super concerned with getting distance. I don't know. This is not what your throw is going to look like, I hope. Got about 210 feet on that bad boy. I watched those first couple throws back and it looks terrible, which is perfect. I'm going to try and load almost all of my weight as I turn my shoulders onto my back foot, and I'm not gonna plant onto my front foot until well after release, which the throw should look terrible. But one way that you're gonna be able to accomplish this a little bit better, let's say for instance that a pitcher in baseball is loading up all of their weight onto their back foot so they can fire with their legs, their hips, their core to their shoulder. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load onto my back leg, my left leg, and then I'm going to actually raise my right leg, just like a pitcher would, so that I can't cheat. It's gonna be terrible looking. I wouldn't really be concerned about that. I want you to get the feel for the exercise. Here goes nothing. Able to get a little snap on that one. The old school monster. I want to see if I can actually get it to fly. I cheated on that one. My right foot hit the ground too early. Last one. Hopefully this illustrates the point of switching your weight back to your back foot, rotating into it with your shoulders, and then firing with your legs to your hips, to your core, to your shoulders. All right, that one counts because my right leg didn't hit until release. Trying to mix it up for you guys. Today's nature moment. 16-year-old dog still getting it. Gonna need a blood transfusion after today. The mosquitoes are getting it. They are after it today. So here, check it out. This is the third part of a progression before we get into full drives. But again, you are not teaching your mind this concept. I'm going through it quickly because I already feel like I've worked on this with the other sports that I've played, but I may revisit this if I don't feel like I'm really firing with my back leg, if I'm really firing with my hips. I can't just tell my mind to do this. I have to relay that message to my body. It's motor learning, which is your body learning, versus mental learning. So this is the third part of the progression, and we're gonna glide into our plant foot. I really like watching Macbeth and Bradley because they're super smooth, and in terms of how tall I am, I'm quite a bit taller than Macbeth, but I'm about the same height as Bradley. I like watching their form. I do watch Bradley because basically he's a bigger Macbeth, because he pretty much copied Macbeth. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and load my weight onto my left leg. Same concept. You're rotating back with a large muscle group, your shoulders to your legs, which is loading your hips and your legs. But then what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna actually glide into my plant foot. So I'm gonna go from left leg to right leg, but I'm going to load, fire, and then rotate. Not doing a full run up. It's also not a standstill because I'm not gonna be balanced on both legs before I go with it. Yo, cut it at Bradley. Nobody gives a shit. All right, so let's get into the third part of the progression. Also, pro tip, wear camo every once in a while. Those birdies won't see you coming. So this is the third part of the progression. Again, revisit. You're just gonna glide after loading into that plant. I'll throw some drivers. Same thing. I'm just loading up on that back leg with my right leg off the ground, and then I'm gonna glide into my plant and allow everything to kind of lag behind and then release once that heel hits the ground. I hope these are catching on camera. I don't even know. I want y'all to see how far these can go without even a standstill, without a run up. That one was north of 300 feet, which is fine, but let's try and get it out there a little bit further. Super nose up, pretty terrible. Still decent distance, but not great. She go. All right, one more. I'm gonna try and beat that last one. That was a wraith. They're not super stable or anything, but it went pretty decent. It's a flow. Basically latitude's knockoff of the wraith. See if I can get it past that wraith. nose up, but decent distance. Yeah, talk with my boys on how to get the channel a little bit more out there. Clay Edwards, Jake Wolf, a couple of characters. They said I gotta mix it up, man. I gotta mix it up every like 4 or 5 seconds for these whatever generations on TikTok and stuff. Not gonna do that. But I hired somebody, just paid him $20. He's gonna have to work the rest of his pitiful life off that 20 bucks. But here's Stanley the stick, guys. Look at this stick. It holds my camera. Look at that. Look at that stick. Stanley! Stanley the stick. Welcome to the channel, bud. Welcome to the channel. All right, there's a wraith. I walked out here to check just because I'm interested. And then there's a flow. I don't know, check the tape, but I threw the flow quite a bit further than the wraith. I think probably I cheated because that's too much. That's much further. Not all that far. I'd say probably the flow is, I don't know. I walked it off, but kind of quick counting. I'd say the flow probably landed, looking at it, 320, 330, something like that. Not great, not terrible. And then the other guys, let's see, I didn't really hit. Oh, that's that monster. Yeah, so that was just off one leg. No, the monster I cheated on because my right leg hit the ground. These are all the one-leggers right here. So these 4 discs right here. And then so those one-leggers are over, let's see, the flow's back there. There's, let's see, there's the wraith, and then the flow is back there. So they're easily 120 feet further. All right, so we went through 3 progressions there. Had the bag. I'd use something with a decent amount of weight and really do it. I mean, you can just go out there and try and throw, but these progressions they'll teach your body, which will pay off in the long run. You're gonna have to put in some work, but it'll work. For those of you that are still here, we have gone through 3 progressions. With the weight, with the physical weight, so the bag full of discs, use a medicine ball if you got it. Planting on just your back leg, trying to not have your right leg hit until well after release. Planting on and loading with the shoulder turn on your rear leg, and then transferring weight partially, and then hitting the disc. I'm gonna go ahead and do now a paused. This is gonna be terrible, but it'll really teach your body. And this will be the 4th and last progression before we get into just go ahead and ripping some shots. Yeah, this 4th one, for those of you that are still here, is probably, I don't know, I looked at my metrics. There's probably like 300 people that have seen this channel so far. 8% are in Canada. What's up, 24 Canadians? This is for the Canadians. You can go ahead and take off, eh? For those of you that are still here, this is the 4th progression. We're gonna load up the majority of our weight, but we're gonna keep our plant foot toe down. So now we're not gonna lift it off the ground and then transfer, kind of like, let's say, a lefty pitcher that's trying to bring the heat. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna keep that our plant leg down, but we're gonna shift almost all of our weight onto our power leg, which in this scenario is our back leg. We're gonna shift all that weight back, keep the toe down, and then let her rip, tater, chip. All right, here we go, disc golfers. Should be able to throw fairways now that I can put my second leg down. Should be able to throw fairways well past where I was throwing those high speeds earlier, because now I got both legs. There's the fourth part, toe down of my plant leg, still loading up all the power in my back leg, and then let it rip. That was a vulture. If I had given it some height, probably would have gone past that wraith. Throw a vulture again. I'm gonna give it a little bit of air. I went way past that wraith. So last one, the old Thundy. And I'm gonna walk out there and kind of show you guys, fairway drivers will go further if you have both legs. If you're loading properly and then transferring the weight, moving the disc like it's a weight. Last one, Thunderbird. We'll go one more. I threw that Thunderbird right in the dirt. My buddy Justin Freeman's PD. If that one didn't go past the wraith, I'm not trying hard enough, kids. Alright, walked up to these guys. Brought Stanley with me this time. Still figuring him out. He's worth about $20. So here's a wraith. Some full shots in. I don't know if these are gonna stay in frame. They probably won't, because I'm going to put them up in the air and try and get some actual distance. I lasered. I put a cone out here the other day. I don't know if you can see it in this, but if I go back there to those buses, let's go ahead and I don't know, contact the DGPT. I've arrived. Those buses are far. Those are, I don't know. They're over 700 feet, easily 800 feet away. I don't know if you can see those buses back there, but there's this bush right here. And that is north of 500. And we got a little tiny tailwind, so I'll get a little bit more assistance. Kind of wish I brought a rangefinder, but ain't a big thing. All right, let's put them up in the air. Let's give it the beans. You know, if you got any English friends, that means the beans, you know, they give you gas. So you hit the gas, which makes you go faster. I'm gonna give it the beans. I don't know these discs all that well. I practice with them a little bit. I might even throw my discs out of my bag, but Stanley's on my bag so the camera can shake and stuff. I don't know. I'll put some racing destroyers up in the air and see if we can focus on this concept alone. What I'm working on in my personal game, I'm not gonna do. I'm just gonna work on loading up on that back leg, transferring legs to hips, to core, to shoulders, and I'm gonna move the disc like it's a heavy weight. I'm gonna really focus on having a little bit of a run up, but moving that disc like it's a freaking 45-pound plate. Rates, a couple of destroyers, and I'm gonna throw from Lone Star a couple of those bayonets. A buddy gave me some bayonets. I'm gonna see what they can do too. Good call, having all blue discs. I don't know if you can see that. I hit my my back arm, but it came out decent. Came out with some good speed. I'm gonna focus on the same thing. Another rate. I'm gonna put this thing up there, see if the wind will take it. It burned out. Destro. Now we get to move them. We're gonna throw some destroyers. Another destroyer of the whatever gimmicky crap this is. I don't know. They're supposed to be more stable or something. I forget what they call this junk. Another destroyer. We'll try and get on this one. Held it okay. One more destroyer, and then I'm gonna throw these bayonets. I want to see if I'm not super into like the 13 speed category, but I'm gonna throw one more destroyer, see if these 13 speeds can get up and go. Not bad. All right, bayonets. My buddy Justin throws for these guys, or threw for them last season. These are first run bayonets, and they're supposed to be really stable, overstable. Let's see. I mean, I don't know. I've only thrown them one time, threw the ones out of his bag, and I turned them over pretty hard, but he said they were overstable, and then I threw them kind of like a jackwagon. But I'm gonna put some gas on these guys and put them up with a pretty good angle and see if they can fight back. Ain't that stable, kids. Let's go one more. Same things, first run bayonet. He told me this one's a little bit less overstable than that one, and that one it didn't appreciate it. It went down pretty quick. Let me put this one a lot higher. Maybe same amount of angle. We'll see. I don't like it. Let's go check though. Before I go check, I'm actually gonna throw one of my favorite discs. Put this gem off to the side. This is a first run flow. They're more stable than a Wraith. This one's had some work on it. I got one more. But I'm gonna put these two up and see what happens. I'm gonna have to give this one a little hyzer out of the hand on the Annie line and see if she'll get up and dance. If it stables up at the end, it should be able to go as far as the destroyer, maybe a little bit further, but it's just more sensitive than the destroyer. Over the top of it. Last one. This is a destroyer that I actually know. I'm gonna see if I can get this one. I don't know. Let's see if we can get above 500 feet. I might power grip this one. Kind of my fingers are pretty. I'm still gonna fan grip it. We'll see. Not bad. I don't know if that's gonna come in a frame, but she's up near those bushes, which is cool. Okay. Stanley and I got to the Thunderbirds, which we standstilled. The bayonets. I don't know. As you can see them, they're out there. So they just burnt over early. They couldn't really handle the gas, but still a good disc. They're super fast. I just wouldn't call them overstable. These are, they kind of hyzered out. And then here's a bush back here.
which is, put a cone out here the other day when I filmed the video. Yeah, so this guy, not bad. I would say a cone was right in that area. We got just past the bush. So my car, I'll give you a point of reference. There's the disc. There's my car back there, kind of looking like Toaster had a baby with a car. And this is above 500 feet. Not really doing what I normally do, which is cool. And the mosquitoes are rowdy, so I'm out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it helps. Get out there, keep practicing. Hey guys, welcome to the video. Can't catch a break, man. Freaking watch the intro back and I don't know what it was, a blower, a mower, something. They're getting after it today.